Hello everyone, welcome to Stan the Wineman TV. I am your host, Stan Rattan, or aka Stan the Wineman. This is my first video wine blog, or wine video blog I guess you'd say. It's going to be unedited. I'm just going to record it and put it on YouTube, and hopefully you learn something from it. The reason I'm doing this project is because Gary Vaynerchuk, one of my favorite guys, did his 1000th episode. Jeez, I'm having a hard time saying that. And he retired. So I interviewed him in April for my one of my blogs, and I asked him if he thought there was room for somebody to do a video blog like his, and he said yes, he thought there was. There are some out there, but his format was really cool. He reviewed wines online, he scored them, and it was very enjoyable. I don't have nearly the personality that Gary does, but you know, I'll give it my best shot. I love talking about wine. My whole thing is to take the snob out of wine. I mean, it's just grape juice. Of course, it's got alcohol in it, but the idea is that wine isn't a huge mystery. It's fun, we like drinking it, we like learning about it, but you know, to make it appear as if it's some sort of upper, you know, you have to be special to understand wine, it's crazy. So actually somebody told me about Gary Vaynerchuk about 7 years ago. I think it was about 7 years ago, 6 years ago. He said that Gary reminded, his approach to wine reminded them of me, and I should watch it. So I did. I became a fan of Gary Vaynerchuk. And I would rather have him be doing it than me, but hey, I'm going to do it. Because he came out with his new book, Jab, 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 Right Hook, which, by the way, you should read. It's an awesome book, especially if you want to know how to promote yourself and use social networking to do that, or to, if you have a business and you want to succeed in that business, how social networking is the way to go now. It's just, that's life today. So let's get into the wine reviews. I think I'll just take a minute to tell you my background, though, before I do this. I should do that. I've been a wine steward in a grocery store for over 20 years. Worked for the same guy. He's a great guy. Up here in the San Juan Islands, the beautiful San Juan Islands. You can't see them. I got to close the curtains back there so you can see this video. Tourist destination spot. I've been doing it for a long time. I've done other things in that time frame, but really enjoy teaching people about wine. I do wine tasting events. I've done classes. I have 2 blogs. One is the Blue Collar Wine Guy on the Seattle PI website. They allow for reader blogs, and so I have the Blue Collar Wine Guy there. And I also have my own blog that I've been doing for quite a while called StanTheWineman.com, and I'd like you to go visit it if you get a chance. I could use the traffic on there, to tell you the truth. And then I mentioned the book. In Gary's book, he mentions my Twitter handle at Stan the Wineman in a footnote, and that just blew me out of the water. And I knew from that point on, that was a signal to me that I needed to start doing this wine video blog that I've been wanting to do for a while, ever since Gary retired. So here I am, Stan the Wineman. I'm going to review 3 wines from a brand new winery, Lady Hill Winery out of Oregon. Lady Hill Winery is owned by Jerry Owen, who used to be the other half of Owen Rowe Winery with David O'Reilly. Well, the two have parted ways. David O'Reilly still owns Owen Rowe, and now Jerry Owen started Lady Hill Winery, and it's they have a website if you want to look it up. It's www.ladyhill.com, and yeah, look them up, see what they're about. Jerry Owen, love Owen Rowe wines. Maybe you've had them before. Abbott's Table Red, Sinister Hand, those are 2 of their big ones. Rosa Mystica Cab Franc. They do a Sharecropper's label. So it's very good wines. David O'Reilly is one of my favorite guys. I've never met Jerry Owen. So, but this is a new project. We're going to taste 3 of his wines. Let's get right into it. Presidio 2012 Cabernet Sauvignon. So it's fairly young cab. Now I'm going to try the zoom thing and see if I can do it right so you can see the label, hopefully. Here it is, right there. Okay. I'm going to back it off. Alright. I don't know if you saw that or not. We'll have to work on that. I don't have a cameraman named Mott standing behind there to do it for me, but maybe I'll get somebody someday. So we're going to start with the driest and go to the fattest. That's if you're ever thinking about how, if you're tasting several wines, it's a good thing to do. So we'll give it a little rinse here. Now you might want to use water, but because I'm a wine guy, because I work in a retail outlet store, hey, I don't pay for these things. You know, this is a supplier gave this to me to try. Of course, they want me to sell their wines, right? That's the whole idea. So this has a really interesting dusty element on the nose. Yeah, you can smell the alcohol on it. Tell you the truth, you can smell the alcohol. I better not talk too quiet here. And looking on the label, it's 14.7% alcohol. So, as we would say in our biz, it's a little hot. But you can smell it. It's a little challenged. There's the dusty element. I get a little bit of blackberry, blackcurrant thing going on. Yeah. Interesting. Not a lot going on there. But I even get a little bit of beauty bark thing going on. So there's a little bit, yeah. Interesting. Let's see what it tastes like. Wow. Oh, yeah, you can taste the alcohol in that. Kind of kicks the back of your palate. It's good though. I mean, the wine is well balanced, other than the alcohol part. A lot of black currant, a little bit of black licorice. You get a little bit of, you know, you can taste the oak in there. The oak kind of sneaks in on the backside. You get a little bit of, my wife always says I get these little joker things on my lips. I probably press the glass too hard. Have you ever got those little little things on the corner of your lips? I try to keep them off. But anyway, no, I get a little tobacco, black currant thing. That bark element seems to stay around. It's got the tannins are there, but they're pretty, you know, they're pretty smooth tannins. It lingers around the mouth a little bit. Like I said, you can definitely, the heat of the alcohol, you can get it there. If you guys have ever watched Gary Vaynerchuk, he does that sloshing in his mouth. He didn't invent that, okay? We've been doing it for years. That's it. You gotta slosh that baby around in your mouth if you want to get the flavors of the wine. Very important. I know sometimes you think it's kind of cornball. I've been around a lot of guys, they just have the hardest time doing that. It's like, but when I do it, nobody goes, "Hey, Stan, you look kind of corny." No, this has a nice, like a barky, currant, polished tannins. Little hot, like I said, at the back end. Good bottle of wine. It's 20 bucks. Forgot to mention that. Sorry, 20 bucks retail, U.S. dollars, not francs or anything like that. Anyway, I really like the packaging. That's Jerry Owen's thumbprint. The winemaker at Lady Hill is Eric Brashers. So he does a good job here. Like this wine a lot. I'm giving it a B+. I don't use a 100-point scoring system. I used to use it. I really don't like it. Although the only thing I did like about it is if you really didn't like a wine, you could give it a terrible score, and yeah, at least A through F. I haven't given a wine an F yet. I've been doing it for quite a while now. I actually got that scoring system from Joe Roberts. A little shout out to One Wine Dude. If you really want a cool site to go to, other than stanthewineman.com, just kidding, of course. Go check out Joe Roberts. It's One Wine Dude. Don't spell one. Just type one and then winedude.com. He's a pretty cool guy. I interviewed him once. I like him a lot. He does some pretty cool things, and he writes for Playboy magazine. And he gets quite a few gigs. He's a good writer. I like him. Anyway, he uses an A through F system. And I like it because it really highlights the subjectivity of wine. You know, none of us all agree on the same wines, because wine's really subjective. I mean, you know, I had a couple of teachers one time that gave me an A because they liked me. Not because I did A work. They just liked me. They liked my dedication. They liked my personality. And I know I got an A partly because of that. Because sometimes, I don't know, my work wasn't all that great. Anyway, so, you know, when I drink a wine, I try to look at it from the perspective of structure and tannins and fruit and balance and all that stuff. But, you know, it's hard for us to get around subjectivity. You know, what I like, you might not like. You know, that's the way it works with wine. And we need to understand that. I'm giving this one a B+, good grade. Like it. On to the next one. So this one is Lady Hill 2011 Cuvée Marie Dorian. Now let me see if I can get this zoomed in here. Hopefully you can see it. There you go. Hopefully you can see that. I need some practice at this. So this is a blend of 90% Cab, 90% Merlot, 10% Cabernet Sauvignon. And it's from the Tap Teal Vineyard on Red Mountain. Red Mountain is a fantastic appellation in Washington State. Now he puts Columbia Valley as the appellation. Columbia Valley is a huge appellation, and it's got a ton of appellations within that huge appellation. I really wish Jerry Owen would have decided to put Red Mountain on there, because that is in fact, it's my favorite, one of my personal favorite appellations in the state of Washington. Fantastic wines from there, fruit quality, you can taste the Red Mountain in it. So this is a very famous vineyard on Red Mountain called Tap Teal Vineyard. So let's give this one a smell, see what we got going on. This has a little bit of a raisin currant thing going on. Same thing I know, but more on the raisin side than the cassis side. Very meaty on the nose. I get this like meaty element. Little perfume. I get a little perfumey like red flower thing. I can smell a little bit of heat on this one too. What's the alcohol on that? 14.7. Again. 2011 was a challenging year in Washington State, by the way. Not a lot of... they had a big freeze in the fall of 2010, killed a lot of the fruit. I know Horse Heaven Hills got devastated. Coyote Canyon, I think he lost all his fruit. Little tobacco, little earthy, maybe. Yeah, nice nose. Not huge. It's got that dust factor, kind of like the Presidio did. Let's give it a try. I like that. Wow. That is a mouthful of wine. Ooh, baby. Boom! Boom! On the palate. Oak comes through on the backside. Big, big, big boysenberry Big boysenberry fruit, little plum. Get a little plum action on that. Boysenberry plum, maybe a hint of cherry in there. It's big and plush, but it's got good structure. You can taste the wood on the back end. There's definitely oak there, but it's not, it's not like a, sometimes oak can just like grip you up and just take away everything that you enjoyed at the start. This is, it's good balance. Little white pepper, black pepper thing on the finish. That one I get a good hit of a kind of a sweet tannin thing, sweetness on the mid palate a little bit. I got a little bit of rose petal, a little bit of that bark action. That's a well-structured big wine that needs some time in the bottle. I think will definitely soften things up and integrate everything together. Good bottle of wine, a little more spendy. This one's $35. Be great with, if you're into Christmas and the whole prime rib thing, it would be really good with prime rib. I'm just telling you, that's a good bottle of wine. I'm still tasting it. For Christ's sake. Good stuff. I'm going to give that one an A-. I think it will evolve. I think laying it down for a few years wouldn't hurt if you have the patience to do that. Get rid of those joker things on my face that my wife tells me I get. Now we're on to number 3 here. Let me rinse it out. It's important to rinse your glasses because you don't want a lot of the other wine to influence the wine before it. You know what I mean? So this one is called Ad Lucem Daystar from Lady Hill. Let me see if I can get this camera to work for me. See if you can see it here. See that any better? Hope so. I'm going to go back. Alright. This is 44% Syrah, 39% Mourvedre, 13% Grenache, and 4% Durif. Wow. Columbia Valley Appellation, 2012. This one rolls in at $30, a little bit less than the other one. Cool thing about this, I don't know if you notice, is the label is made out of birchwood. So very good packaging. It's kind of got a little bit of texture to it. You can feel the difference. It's cool. These guys did a good job on packaging, by the way. So let's give this one a whirl, see what we got going on here. Let's check out the alcohol right off the bat. Wouldn't you know it, 14.7. It's kind of weird, actually. Now, 2012, I didn't talk about that vintage. In Washington and Oregon, 2012 was phenomenal. Good, weather was perfect, cool evenings, warm days. They could pick whenever they felt they needed to. A lot of control over the vintage as far as picking and developing the sugars and the pHs and all that stuff. It was a good year. Big crop, big ass crop from Washington. Wow, this has that beauty bark thing going on again. Get a bit of little bit of licorice, black licorice thing going on. Meaty, yeah, it's got that meaty element. This is very much a Rhone style blend. All the grapes of Rhone are in there. It got a lot of Mourvedre, and I love Mourvedre. I love that stuff. They call Mourvedre Monastrell in Spain. I guess Monastrell was the original name for Mourvedre, and it became known as Mourvedre in France. And in Jancis Robinson's new book, she chose to use Monastrell because that's the original name for the grape. So I get a little rose petal, cherry, blackberry thing going on. This, of all the three, this one has the biggest nose, you could say. Good aromas. See what it tastes like. I thought the Cuvée Marie Dorian was big. This is a lot of plum. Lots of plum. A little bit of strawberry cherry thing going on. It fills your mouth. I mean, explodes. But it doesn't go fruit bomb. But I mean, it's big, but it doesn't go fruit bomb, which I like. I like that. Had to swallow, sorry. Had to swallow that baby. Not as much oak on the back end as the other wines that's there, but very smooth, polished tannins. I mean, they're just very smooth, very powerful wine. It has the same amount of alcohol, but I don't know, it seemed because of the fruit, maybe it masks it a little bit more. Nice wine. I mean, spice comes through. Actually, as I'm talking, I get more and more of this like warm spice box kind of peppery thing going on at the finish. Nice wine. Again, want to do something special. It's only 30 bones. This one's 35. I don't know, for 30 bucks, $5, you could go either way. But if you're into the Merlot thing, like some of the Right Bank Bordeaux's, go for the Cuvée Maria. If you're into just a really, really delicious wine that could use some beef with it, go for the, Ad Lucem. These are all like Latin terms. Back of the Prosecco it says be valiant and live. I don't know. Shakespeare. Okay, be valiant and live. Was it? Never. Sorry. Never got big into Shakespeare. Should have. Have a good customer that does Shakespeare plays. Sorry. No, that one's hard to spit out. You could drink that by itself, sit down, watch a good movie, have a little blue cheese thing going on. That'd be really good. It's got sweeter tannins on it. It's pretty powerful. Be careful with this one. I wouldn't, a couple of glasses probably might put you under the table at 14.7. Well, that's it. That's my first video. I hope you enjoy it. I enjoyed doing it. I hope to do many, many more. I hope to have guests in the future, people I can interview, perhaps winemakers. Maybe I'll get Gordy Rawson from Trader Creek. We're doing a wine tasting next week. Maybe he'll be willing to be on my program. I hope you guys enjoy this. I hope you have some fun with watching it. And if you have any questions, anything you want to ask me, make any comments on this video, tell me it's stupid, whatever you want to tell me. Why don't you hook up with me on Twitter, @StanTheWineman. Make some comments there. I'm doing this on YouTube. Not familiar. This is my first time. Don't know if you could be able to comment on there. But if you have anything to say to me, say it. Can't hurt my feelings. I mean, well, you might hurt my feelings, but I hope you enjoyed it. Here's to taking the snob out of wine. Thanks for watching. Ciao.